Welcome to the basics of burning your charcoal incense at home with different herbal blends and resins. Stay tuned to the end of the video where I show you a sneak peek into my visit to the Golden Buddha in Pattaya, Thailand. Now on to the basics. In this part 2 video of burning charcoal incense, I go over the basic tools that I use every time I burn my charcoal, and my favorite to use is frankincense. And I'll also show you in the second portion of the video some do's and don'ts and tips to remember so that you do not hurt yourself and you have the best aromatic experience. So here we have the basics. Some kind of a heat-proof container, like a brass container, stainless steel, or a dish, a baking dish, small container that can hold the burning charcoal, which we're going to light. And then you want to have some kind of a cover or protection. And then all you have to do is think of a place to put your beautiful display and let the aromas go. So let's put this all together. Take care when you're handling the charcoal because it will ignite, and then you can see, look carefully, that it starts to burn and spark on one side and works its way slowly through, all the way through to the entire disc. Once you place the charcoal in a safe heat-proof dish, comes the best part, my favorite part, which is you choosing your favorite resins, putting together some frankincense or benzoin, sandalwood, and then I mix in sage and some evergreens, some eucalyptus, and I put it all together and let it burn into an aromatic medley. Safety tip number 1, if you put too much resin onto the dish and it's too smoky, make sure you have a window or door handy so you can place the dish outside. Safety tip number 2, I always use a double layer of protection for these very hot burning charcoal discs. I'll put rocks at the base of my heat-proof vessel or container, and then I also place the container onto a protective plate that could be a baking dish or a heat-proof dish as well. Safety tip number 3, when you're lighting the charcoal, you'll notice that it does burn consistently and starts from one end to the other. But to be extra safe, you can use tongs or some kind of a kitchen tool to hold on to the disc and maneuver it around until you get comfortable that you know that you're holding on to the right end. You can also use a piece of wood or your twigs to help move it around once you've placed it onto the rocks. Safety tip number 4, when you're using a lot of herbal materials like twigs or leaf, dried debris, that may get more smoky than the resin, but at the same time, resins are slower to melt and burn and then may produce more smoke at the end. So watch for that and decide which blend you would prefer. Safety tip number 5, the container, no matter what container you're using, even if it's oven proof, The lid might get hot from the charcoal if you've been burning it for a while, so always use caution when you're touching the lid, and get to know the container you're using really well. And if you're not sure if it's hot, please use heat-proof gloves or some kind of tool to remove the lid. Once you have the resin and your favorite combination of herbs on the charcoal discs, be patient. Watch and see carefully how it's slowly beginning to glow red on the sides. On the surface, the resins will melt slowly at first, and then they'll start to bubble, and you can see them melting as if they're in a hot boiling pot. Take time and add resins slowly, one at a time. To recap, the basics you need are some kind of a protective container that will hold your burning incense, a mix of herbs and resins, some extra rocks to put underneath the charcoal disc to protect your vessel, really good burning charcoal like the Three Kings, and your favorite combination of resins. And that's it. Put it all together, and remember, careful when you're removing the lid to adjust your incense. Notice here, I'm ready to put it out, and instead of waiting for all of the resin to burn off, I'm removing it carefully with a twig, and then I will let the charcoal burn itself out without any material on top. This last section is an offering from the west to the east, putting together what we've learned and enjoying a few clips, a glimpse into my visit into beautiful golden Buddha statue in Pattaya, Thailand. I hope you enjoy these few moments where we can say prayers, offerings, discover ancient incense and ancient traditions with the beauty of all that is there to discover.